Hey guys, Crazy Postman here. Well, I thought it would be fun to do a robot lawnmower roundup. There's so many robot lawnmowers out there on the scene right now, so many Kickstarters going on right now. I thought it would be fun to just go over them and see what they're all about. And I will give you my opinion. Now, I'm going to share a few that are on Kickstarter, and I'm going to share, I know at least one that's already in full production. So let's go check these things out. Now, something you need to keep in mind, you could lose your money. Kickstarter is not a guarantee that you're going to get a product. That's just where the new upcoming products have to start because they need money to make their products. So you're basically floating them a free loan, which they're repaying you by giving you the product a little bit cheaper. But you take the risk of losing everything if they don't go through with shipping you a product. So now that I said that, let's go ahead and check these out. So we'll start here with the Luba 2. Now obviously I can't show you every robot lawnmower that's currently on the market or plans to be on the market. This video would just get too long. So I just picked a few that I know about to talk about in this video. So you can see here along the top of the page, I've ordered these in they're in kind of a best to worst order. Not really in a ranking of what I like, but in a ranking of most likely to actually exist to not existing at all. I think this last one is a complete scam, actually. So let's go ahead and start here with the Luba 2. So we know from the Luba 1 that Momotion knows what they're doing. They know how to build a solid robot lawnmower with the RTK technology. They've added the vision onto it, and it's been kind of, kind of iffy. There's been a few bumps in the road with the vision side of it, but as updates come along, it's getting better, and you can see here they have a high-cut version and a regular version of all their models. And this one in here in particular that I have pulled up is the Luba 5000, and it comes in about $28.99. Now, there may be certain holidays or deals on Amazon where you can get it a little cheaper, but that's what it is currently as of recording. So we're just going to go over some of the quick highlights here. So Luba 2 can cover 1.25 acres. It's all-wheel drive. It can conquer those steep slopes. It has the 3D vision and RTK. So there's no perimeter wire, but there is an RTK system, and you have to map out your areas manually with the phone as like a controller, like a game controller, to control the Luba to drive around. Once you get all that mapped out, you can do your schedules, and supposedly you're done. It just works from then on, with a few occasional hiccups every once in a while. Moving on to the proven Husqvarna Automower. Now, I had one of these, not this one in particular. I had a 310 for many years, and it lived in my backyard and did its thing. I changed the blades maybe once or twice a year. I never had to clean it. I never even thought about it. It just did its schedule. After 4 or 5 years of ownership, I did have my first problem. I had to get a new controller board in the charger base. It got wet or something happened, but that was the only problem I ever had with it. So here we're looking at the Automower 450X. Now this is what Husqvarna calls EPOS, which is basically RTK technology, just like Luba. And this comes with the reference station, so it's an all-in-one kit, but look at this price. Now it can handle a little bit larger of a lawn from the Luba, so you would compare this one to the Luba 10,000, which is still, I think, $1,000 cheaper than this. I think the Luba 10,000, let's see, the Luba 10,000 comes in at $4,100. It's still quite a bit cheaper than the Husqvarna auto mower. But with Husqvarna, you're getting a decently sized dealership network where you can go and actually see a service center. I know Momotion is working at expanding their service centers, but they're nowhere near as plentiful as Husqvarna dealers. So that's what you're getting with the Husqvarna, is decades of experience and a good dealer network and a solid product. Moving on to the Yuka. Now this one came out through Kickstarter. That is now over, and they are starting to ship to the backers currently. So I know they're shipping in Europe right now, and they're going to be shipping in the US in July. Yuka is a different model from Luba, but it's the same manufacturer. It's from Momotion. It has a sweeper attachment. So it is only a two-wheel drive design, and it has that single caster wheel in the front, which I'm not a super fan of. I haven't actually tried the lawnmower yet, so I'll give it a chance to impress me. But normally I don't like single caster tires in the front because they can get stuck in holes easily. And with this only being two-wheel drive, we'll just have to see how it works out. But its party trick is it has the sweeper attachment, and it's a little bit cheaper than the Luba series. So this is something that may be worth checking out after it gets out in the public and you can pick it up on Amazon and the Momotion website without waiting. But that's going to be later in the year before it's readily available. Moving on to the value leader here, the Navimow I series is impressive to me. Now this one is the small one. It only does 1/8 of an acre, but what more can you ask for if you have a small lawn? It's $999. It has RTK technology, so it will mow in the straight rows, and you can program it to go where it needs to go with no-go zones. It doesn't have impressive slope capabilities. I mean, it's only two-wheel drive, but it does have visual obstacle avoidance. So for $900, you're getting RTK and visual obstacle avoidance. This one, I think, is going to be on the short list of one of the ones to beat. I haven't tried this one personally, but I've heard a lot of good things about it. Their 1/4 of an acre model, the I-110, is $1,299, and that is still an excellent deal, and it's available now. You can pick it up on Amazon. I'll leave a link to all these that have links on Amazon in the description. I know Luba and Navimow are on Amazon. I'll link that in the description so y'all can find them. Now some of these I'm about to get to are only on Kickstarter, and you're going to have to do that a little bit more in your own discretion. You know, like I said earlier, you can lose money on Kickstarter. They may or may not ship your product. So I'm happy. The Navimow makes me happy. It's just a little tiny mower that just does everything it needs to do. The 105 and the 110, they're both 24 pounds. They're identical size and identical weight. The battery capacity is less on the smaller model. And another thing about these Segway Navimows, they are 4G compatible. It's an optional accessory that you'll buy and install, but when you buy it, it comes with the whole first year of service included. So that's something else I like about the Navimow. So everything about this mower I like, and most all the videos I've seen are positive, so I don't think you can go wrong if you pick this one up. It is highly recommended by me, at least as highly as it can be without me actually physically trying it. But I've watched many videos, and it all looks good. So moving on to the Dreame or Dreame, I'm not sure how it's pronounced. I'm just going to call it the A1. You can see it is $24.99. So what makes this one special is it's a LiDAR mower, kind of like the little robot vacuums, except its LiDAR beam is pretty powerful and it shoots it out pretty far to be able to map the area. It is a two-wheel drive design, except it has two caster wheels up front. So that's a little bit superior to what the Yuka is going to be with only one caster wheel. So this one doesn't have the RTK. It only works off its LiDAR mapping. And you drive it around with the app on the phone, just like the others when you set it up. But it's quicker to set up because there's no RTK antenna to install somewhere. It's all built into the mower, and it maps out its world with its little LiDAR beam. So this LiDAR covers a 360-degree circle and pretty high up of an angle also. So it should be able to sense trees and houses and other obstacles that it can map out. It says here it can do 0.25 acres. Easy to clean. They allow you to spray it off. They have a quick change blade option, which seems pretty neat. It says change the blades in seconds with a quick release feature. No tools required. Of course, it has a rain sensor. Most of them do nowadays. That is the Dreame A1. Let's move on to the Orion X7. Now, this is another RTK robot, and I actually like this one, and I will tell you why. This is on my favorites list because, well, the price kind of hurts a little bit, but it does cover 1.5 acres. So its positives are it is RTK, and that gives you the good precision. It gives you the straight rows, but that is another antenna you have to install, just like the Luba and the Yuka and the Navimow. But this one also has a good vision system. In testing, it seems like it's slightly better than the Luba 2 with its visual recognition. Another reason why I like the Sunseeker Orion X7 is because it's not just two-wheel drive, it is three-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. So you see these two big wheels here in the front. There is also a third wheel in the back that is also powered. So it's going to help you get up the hills, and more importantly, it's going to help you turn and pivot without destroying the grass, because this back powered wheel can turn and then drive a different direction, so it doesn't have to be drug through the grass. It actually is powered and it's helping the vehicle turn, so there's less stress on the grass during turns. It does have a dual blade design, so it cuts wide like the Luba. So when you're out in the open, it works off the very precise RTK, but when you get under trees or next to the house where the vision system has to take over, it will continue working in GPS blind spots on the vision. It's trained on 35 plus objects. Like I said, its vision is pretty good. It does have optional 4G, so it will help you find it if somebody steals it. Let's hope that never happens. Moving on, we got the TerraMow. Now, this is one of the first Kickstarters that I'm actually excited about, because this one is vision only. There's no RTK at all. It is completely AI vision, and from what I've seen, they've done a really good job. One of the neat things about the TerraMow is you don't have to set anything up. You literally install the charging base and plug it in, and then you just tell TerraMow to go mow, and it will map out the area all by itself. You don't have to use the phone to drive it around to map anything. It does it automatically with its AI cameras. If it ever gets stuck in the yard, it will suggest a no-go zone in the spot that it gets stuck, and you can either accept it or decline it, and it just automatically maps the yard out and puts it. It's crazy if you've seen the videos how its map looks after it makes it. It's really good. There's no wiring, no RTK. It has a good looking cut to edge feature. So it'll cut the middle and then it goes back with its vision and gets really close to the edges. Now this one is only a 2-wheel drive, and it's actually surprisingly small. A lot smaller than I thought it was going to be. There's already YouTubers that have review samples. I've asked them if I could have a review sample, and I hadn't heard back yet, so we'll see if that happens or not. But if I get one, I will certainly make a few videos with it and let y'all know what I really think. Just look at how this AI system works. That is awesome. I can't wait for this to come out. I really hope I get to try it out. One of the interesting things about this is there's flexible mowing options. So you can have the standard mowing zone, you know, where you have pathways and no-go zones and have your charger over here. You can also have the multi-base mode where you have 2 different charging stations that are separated. So you can map out an area in your backyard and have a charging station, map out an area in your front yard and have a charging station. They do sell the charging stations and they're not that expensive. I think they're like $199 additional for a charging station. And another interesting one is spot mode. You don't even have to have a charging station. You can just pick up your TerraMow, carry it to a spot, and hit the spot mode button, and it will mow the area that it's never seen before. It'll just mow it all, and it's done. It gets mowed. You can spray it off with a water hose. It has a rain sensor, Wi-Fi and cellular connectivity. Oh man, this one was nuts. They just throw this thing. Watch this guy. This is how they were testing it. They're just throwing it. Bam. They pick it up and they throw it again. Watch this. Do you think Luba could survive this? I've seen some people with their Luba that they've just set it down too hard and it broke the axle. This guy's throwing it across the lawn. And he's not being gentle. That's for real. Oh, look at this one. He gets up on a ladder. That is crazy. And then they turn it on to show you that it's still working. Watch this one too, down here. They're throwing this thing in the water. They're giving it a nice dunk in the water. Oh, he's going to throw it again. I'm making this video too long, but there was this one more here I just want to show you. They set the blade down on a brick and turned it on, and it's like cutting a brick right now. You can see the sparks coming out. And it like shaved off a little corner of this brick. Look at that. Don't do this at home, people. Anyway, so here's the 2 options for TerraMow. I don't remember exactly why, but the S1200 is superior for some reason. And it has to do with the GPS for anti-theft tracking. I think the 1200 model actually has a more powerful processor or something. But we'll have to get more details on that. The S800 is just more of a basic model, and the S1200 is a little bit more powerful for some reason. You see right now you can get the 800 model for $9.99 and the 1200 model for $11.99. But this is Kickstarter, keep in mind, so you're taking a risk. The extra base station, $199. Cellular for a year, $14. That's TerraMow. I need to speed up on these because this is getting too long. Here is the Airseekers Tron. Now, I originally backed this product on Kickstarter. I was going to buy one, but then I got kind of sketched out and I backed out of it. And it seems like this is going to be a real product. They have pictures down here of a factory that's producing quite a few of them. So hopefully all the Kickstarter people will get taken care of, and maybe it'll also make it into production. Who knows? But I myself backed out, and they're expecting deliveries in August, and they expect all users to receive their Tron by September or October. So what makes this one special is it is Vision. The smaller model is Vision only, and the larger model is RTK and Vision. That's the difference. It has 6 cameras on it and a time of flight sensor. It should be able to see the world as good as it needs to see the world to do a good job. So this is Airseeker's party trick. Is it has a fan blade above the cutting plate that sucks things up. So instead of it kind of laying the grass down, it sucks it up when it goes to cut it. So this may be good for like fescue type grasses that seem to sometimes have trouble with the robot lawnmowers because there's no suction. So the Tron has the suction that supposedly will suck the grass up and allow it to mulch a little bit better while it's cutting. It has easily swappable batteries. That's another good thing about this model. So also, like I said, the large model, the Tron Max, it does have a RTK unit, and you can see here what their idea is going to be similar to Momotion's idea with the solar panel, it looks like. Oh, they did the one more thing. So they do have a larger cutting disc attachment that's optional that you can purchase, and it will cut a larger path. I think you lose the suction and mulching abilities of the smaller one. Oh, H brand, I guess that's a Husqvarna, and N brand is probably Navimow. So now we're moving on. The Tron is probably I might or might not recommend it. I'm not sure on the Tron. So after TerraMow, we're kind of moving into things now that I wouldn't recommend. And this next one is $4,000, and it's not even autonomous. You have to drive it with a remote control. And if you watched my video from a few weeks ago, you learned with me that driving with a remote control is not fun when it's 105 degrees outside and you're standing in the sun. This may be an awesome lawnmower. I just can't recommend it because it would be awesome if it had the remote control and you could do it manually if you needed to, but it also needs, for $4,000, it needs to be autonomous. This thing needs to be RTK making some rows by itself. I don't need to be out there in the 110 degree heat driving this thing around. So as good of a lawnmower as this may be, I don't think I can recommend it. Who wants to stand outside and drive a $4,000 push mower? I mean, you're still outside. Spend $500 and get a nice push mower with self-propelled, and it's not going to be hard on you at all. I don't mean to poo-poo too much on this company because I haven't tried it out personally, and like I said, it may be a good lawnmower. It's just not for me. Moving on to the Neomow X. Now this is another one that's been talked about forever. It also has the LiDAR system, but they're not being delivered yet. Where are they? The people are still waiting for them. There's still people down here waiting to get their mower. Like, where is it? It's been months. It's been years. When did this campaign start? Does it even say? This is when the Kickstarter launched, August 29th, 2023. And I'm sure I've heard about this company before then. I don't know if they have any other products, if they've made a Kickstarter before or what. So we're coming up on a year, and people are still waiting for their Neomow X's. Now, this one is recent. I've seen this one testing on YouTube a few times. This is very unique because it's a real type mower, like what they mow golf courses with, except it looks like it has LiDAR here on the top. And I watched it driving around autonomously, just like a regular robot mower, but it's using a real type system. So this actually hasn't been released yet. It's coming soon, but this might be one to watch just because of the unique real situation. I think that's kind of cool. I think these are dead projects, these last two. Now this one is supposed to be something like it worked off the sun. You can see there's solar panels, and you can see what they were going for, but looking at their prototype, it just doesn't look like it was going to get around very good. I mean, look at those small wheels. Any kind of bump or rut, it would be stuck. So I don't know if this is just prototype and they would do something a lot better than that, but it just really worries me looking at those small wheels. It would only work on extremely fat. It would only work on extremely flat surfaces and areas that gets lots of sun, obviously. I don't know how those small panels can power that. But there you have it. Sun Scout. I wouldn't look into that. And this one is just, it seems to be a complete scam. So I don't know what that converts to in US dollars, but it seems like quite a few people got scammed. So there's 62 backers there, 258 backers. Oh my goodness. But if you go into the comments, it's pretty sad. There's people are like, what's going on? We haven't received our stuff. Report fraud. They're trying to do a class action lawsuit. So this is what happens on Kickstarter sometimes, and it's really unfortunate. These people have lost their money in this product, and that happens on Kickstarter sometimes. So that's it. That is the robot lawnmower roundup here in the end of June 2024. Hopefully this video didn't get too long for you. If you stuck out to the end, I really appreciate it. Thanks for listening to my ramblings and hanging out with me here. If you want to talk about any of these things, I will meet you down in the comments. If you liked what you saw, hit that like and subscribe. Like I said earlier, I'll link a few of these on Amazon in the description. I am an Amazon affiliate, so if you check any of those out, it certainly helps out my channel, and I appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and I will see y'all later. I got help here. Y'all can kind of see the nose, but that's about it. For some reason, the computer doesn't want you to be in the video. Oh, there he is. There he is. You're fading away. You're fading away. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, now go away.